What's going on, everybody? It's Willoughby's, and welcome back to the Lore Chronicles. In this video, we're talking all about community, whether it's, Ink and that incredible tournament where Dick got to meet his best friend and also former rival, Baker, aka Lorcana villain, but also just other things that Dick has been able to do. We were fortunate enough to be a part of, for me, a small part, Dick, a huge part, of a charity event for fellow Lumineer Amanda. We'll have more information about that in the description. But we just talk about the amazingness of this community, as cheesy as it sounds, and really just reflect on like all of these different third-party events that have been popping up, just for the love of the game and the passion that this community has. And so it's just a little bit of upkeep, some things that we've been meaning to keep you updated on, kind of explain why we've been away for a little bit, but we're not going anywhere. We love this game and we are constantly immersing ourselves in this community whenever we can. So hopefully you enjoy the discussion. We share some stories. Like I said, the first half of this is Ink. Second half is about this charity event. Either way, reference the timestamps in the description to kind of help you float around what you think is most interesting. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy the discussion. So we are having a bit of a Lorcana renaissance right now. Lorcana didn't go anywhere for it to be renaissancing, but just things are great.
Well, people in Disney do like a good Renaissance era.
Exactly. And I think Fabled has really brought that for us. There's been a lot going on, these past few weeks. We've missed a couple uploads, to be honest. And I think we really just wanted to take some time to sit down, reflect on like what we've both been up to separately. And honestly, we've done some cool stuff together that we'll talk about. And just kind of talk about like the community is like alive and well right now. There's a lot of really, really cool events going on. This is the first time that we're seeing things like CCQ, like with third-party events, like those invites coming thanks to Ravensburger, like adding that. And I think it's kind of just like incentivized a lot of new, like, I don't know, tournaments and stuff like that. So you went to one that was very big, very notable, and you did pretty well at it. So tell us where you went and what you did and if you had any fun.
Well, I think we alluded to it in the last episode. Also, continuity, we're in the same shirt. It's almost like we record these weeks in advance.
I changed my shirt. I had the foresight to change my shirt.
Oh, no, I did it on purpose. People need to know that when we have these predictions and when we're talking about the hot button issues, we've pre-recorded it.
Oh, yeah.
We were, yeah, we've scrapped 2 or 3. All right? We've scrapped 2 or 3. But we know what's coming up.
When we put them out, right? We know they're gonna be good. No, we really are like, we have to do an episode on like fortune telling. Like we literally like are so good at predicting what's gonna happen in Lorcana. They need to hire us to predict things. I'm telling you.
Nostradamus. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I went to Ink, which was same weekend as CCS, which was an incredible feat for Disney Lorcana. Like how many people between Ink and CCS? People probably don't even remember that weekend. It was about 3,000.
Yeah,
there's people. There's totally like 3,000 people between, maybe even 5,000. Yeah, between Ink and CCS. So yeah, I went to Ink. I played Blurple, right? And the biggest reason, aside from like it was probably just the de facto best deck at the time, was because we made a whole Amethyst episode, right? And yes. I talked about cards that I thought were playable, and I was like, all right, I feel some kind of like community obligation that if I'm going to give advice, I should also take that advice, right? So I ended up playing the Ursula, the Voice Stealer, and I was right. She's great.
Oh yeah,
I love that card. Yeah. Doing the Ursula and then hitting something else with an Into the Unknown or whatever, it was so good all day. In the mirror, it was fantastic. I felt like I had way more Hades than my opponent, especially because like I had Madam Mim Elephant as well, which is terrible in the mirror early. But turn 9, return my Ursula. Ursula, your character.
Oh yeah,
sing Into the Unknown, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like I had infinite Hades. It felt so good.
I threw your deck up on the screen. I do think it's worth taking some time to. It was impromptu.
Yeah, let's talk about this embarrassing mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do think regardless of how the meta has changed a little bit since Ink, a lot of these cards that were like kind of taken out have been put back in, right? So something like, let's say like this big Elsa, this 8-drop Elsa, sure, some people kind of took that out for a couple weeks, but it's actually like finding its way back in. I've seen decks with Monstro instead of Elsa. I've seen decks with Monstro and Elsa. You know what I mean? So I think this is still relevant, even if it was played a while ago. So let's talk about you mentioned the Ursula. Tell me about this genie, right? Like this 7-drop 1-of genie. Tell us what that card says, because I got to pull it up, so it's going to take me a minute. And why'd you play it and did it come up?
So I had been playing with this genie since week -2. Okay, on Lorcanito. But I was playing 3 of it. And the idea was Amber Steel was a nightmare to deal with. So it was something that I could I could shift onto my 2/4 genie. Okay. So the problem is, like, they go like Pluto or whatever. Like the 2/4 genie is just dead in that matchup, but it's also uninkable. So I'd still play the 2/4 genie. They think, okay, well, there's nothing they can do, so I'll just turn everything sideways, and then you go, haha, I have a 4/7, right? uh and then in the mirror, I basically never ever want to ramp twice. So, like, I want to sail on 2, or I want to TPO on 2. But then after that, I want to play a 4-drop on 3, 5-drop on 4, so on and so forth. But in the mirror, if I start with the genie in my opening hand and like 2 ramps cards, I will ramp as much as possible, and the genie will be the very last card that I play. And I'm going to play it 2 turns before they can Hades, typically. And then you have so much ink. It is very rare that you don't just kind of pop off for at least 2 turns and get so much of an advantage ahead of your opponent. And the whole putting your hand under, again, like if it's the last card in your hand anyway, that is irrelevant. So I only got to do the genie once. Okay, it was against Fumbles.
Oh wow, my teammate.
Yes, he was like, he looked at it and was just like, respect.
And I remember Fumbles reaching out once, like he had lost to you. I think you both were undefeated, so he was like, my only loss was to Dick Burns. And it's funny to know that it's with this genie card.
That was the game I lost.
Oh.
I played the genie, I drew Hypnotic Strength, and then I drew Madam Mim Elephant. No other characters in play, and I really did not want to bounce this genie, and replay it next turn. I'd probably just have to ink it at that point. So those were my draws with the genie, and then he just Hades'd it, and I lost. But it was such a fun time. So I wanted to try the genie. I was playing on Lorcanito, and I actually really liked it. And I was playing 3, so like I would actually keep it in my opening hand almost always. Worst case scenario, I inked it. I left 1 in because I had the 2 visions. So that's why there's so many random 1-ofs, right?
Okay.
If I wasn't playing visions, I would not have played a decent amount of the cards that I did end up playing. But going forward, no more genie for me. Also, let's preface this whole tournament a little bit. I didn't dye my hair. Okay. People were like, who are you? You can see it in some of the photos. So it was my daughter's birthday the next day. I could not play the top cut. Okay. So I named the deck the Meta Report Special. Because as I was building the deck, I was thinking to myself, all right, I'm either going to crush this tournament, right? And then this is going to end up being on ink decks. It's going to end up being in, Lorcana Villains videos, TFM videos, anyone that's covering the event. And it's a hilarious, like, I remember Lorcana Villain covered the deck and you like started laughing, or I'm going to do bad and no one's going to know anyway. So who cares? And I was there strictly for fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was the genie. That was the whole genie. All right. Let's go to Diablo, I guess.
Okay.
1 Diablo.
You have the mind of a mastermind.
I swear it makes sense. So I wanted 9 cards I could bounce with Elephant. Okay. That was one reason. I wanted 9 cards I could bounce with Elephant. 2. I was playing Second Star to the Right. Okay. When I was building the deck, I had never played Second Star to the Right in my life. Okay. And I thought to myself, okay, what is the most common scenario that I'm gonna sing second starter right? It's either gonna be I have 2 cards that cost 5, and I'm doing it on turn 7, or I'm gonna use a 1-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop, right? And the 1-drop is just going to be banish, whether it's Rafiki, Basil, anything, right? So if they're just gonna challenge and banish it anyway, I'll just take Diablo. And then the other reason was because I was playing Hypnotic Strength. And sometimes you can just really get people who are not thinking straight, especially if it's like game 1 and you haven't played a Hypnotic Strength yet. Turn 1 Diablo, they quest, you know, if I'm going to miss ramp, I might as well banish one of my opponent's characters, right? That will slow them down enough to where it's not punishing me too badly, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, those were all the reasons for 1 Diablo.
Your only other one of here is Everybody's Got a Weakness. So for anybody that doesn't know what Everybody's Got a Weakness does, because it's not typically in Amethyst decks outside of red purple,
Right.
it moves 1 damage from each of your damaged characters to a chosen character on the other side, and then you draw a card for each damage move that way. I would think that's right. That's off the dome. So
yep, that's it. Yeah, so Everyone's Got a Weakness. The card 90% of the time super mid. Right? Like honestly, 90% of the time super mid. Even when you're banishing like an Iago or something, it's just like usually worse than Hypnotic Strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the times that the 10% of the times that the card's fantastic, it like wins the game on its own.
Yeah.
So I feel like an inkable card that 90% of the time it's just fine, and 10% of the time it wins the game should be in your deck.
Yeah.
And again, the visions helps.
Yeah.
Like there were plenty of times where I would play a visions desperately hoping to draw Everyone's Got a Weakness off the visions.
Yeah.
Another thing that it does really well is counters Tinkerbell. It is hilarious when your opponent plays a Tinkerbell and you have like 4 or 5 characters play. You just banish their Tinkerbell and draw 5 cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that card was great, and there's no way I'm not playing that card in Blurple forever. As long as I'm playing a way to search for it, like a Miser's one of, yeah, probably won't make the cut. But as long as I'm playing Visions or even Develop, I'm probably playing Everyone's Got a Weakness, and that was something that Ben from TFM was trying before the set even came out, and I thought it was great. So
nice. Yeah, I think that's a really cool like tech consideration where, again, you know, even though this may be quote unquote outdated by the time that we're looking for it, I think the meta's kind of really come back around. So a lot of these cards are still in here, and it's cool to see that, like, yeah, it's inkable, you know, which I think makes cards infinitely more like you could always try 1 or 2 of them just to see if they come up. Yeah, so congrats on your success.
thank you.
I know
do want to talk a little more about the deck. I'm so
okay,
sorry.
you got more. Okay.
I'm so vain. I know. All right, second star. I've cut it at this point.
Oh wow.
All right, I'm playing Dig a Little Deeper.
Okay, me too, but Dig doesn't hit the same. Like drawing 5 versus drawing 2. Come on, man.
No. Every time I played a second star, when I got to play it, I basically only wanted 1 or 2 cards anyway.
Okay.
Right? Like the other cards were kind of just icing on the cake. I felt like I would have accomplished winning the game if I would have just found like 2 out of the 5 cards, right? So I thought Dig, okay, it costs 20% less ink. It is easier to sing. It's easier to hardcast. And the only reason Dig even came up in my brain was because 3 times during Ink, I played an Ursula, Voice Stealer, and exerted an Elsa. And 2 of those times, I had second star in my hand. And I was just like, this would be insane.
If it was Dig, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this would be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So I actually think Dig and second star are like pretty close in power level in this deck, but Dig costs 20% less.
Yeah.
So I feel like in my mind that edges it out for me. it feels bad when you use 2 5-cost characters to sing Dig a Little Deeper because like, yeah, this could have been second star, but you still got to sing Dig a Little Deeper. So
Right.
you can't feel that bad.
Right.
It's like opening an N64 in 1998 and you're like, but it's not the camo version. But anyway, so yeah, and then Finders Keepers, I can't get off of it. I just cannot get off that card. I'm only playing 2 because I was also playing Second Star. I don't want to play it on turn 5, obviously. We talked about that. I had a stream match, and the one game I probably would have lost if my opponent did not play Finders Keepers on like turn 5.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like a turn 9 play, or it's the last card in your hand, and then it's like the best card in your hand, obviously. Yeah. So anyway, that's basically it on the deck. Sorry to be long and drawn out about it.
No.
I should also say how I built this deck. I laid out every amethyst and sapphire card that I own on an 8-foot table, and I walked around and picked up the first 60 cards that I thought worked together and were the best 60 is what I did, and that's how I built the deck. I played 0 games, and I drove to Ink, and yeah, round 1 was my first game playing this list.
Wow.
And yeah, it was great. I only lost 2 games. They were both in the mirror, and the one was Genie debacle, and the other one was I missed ramp. And then I lost twice in top 16. Extremely stressful situation because I could not come back the next day. I was praying I got paired into someone I knew so I could prize split with them and I could just leave. And I was so upset that I did not get paired into someone that I knew. I found out later that he knew me. So shout out to him. He was great. He could probably vouch. I was incredibly stressed out because the mall was closing. The judges had to start playing, stop playing, start playing. But all of that, I'm not taking away. Like, I'm not saying that's why I lost. My opponent was better than me that day and beat me. End of story. But it was incredibly stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
and what did you finish after Swiss?
I don't know, like 5th or something.
Yeah, it was an incredible run.
I did not have to play my last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I think the only reason that I wasn't like 2nd or 3rd place was Ben had to play his last round because he got paired down, so that skyrocketed him to 1st place, and B, I got paired down the last round and drew with them, like intentional draw, and so my resistance, my first tiebreaker was lower than other people's.
Yeah.
Who did not get paired down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an awesome day. I had an amazing time. I'm sure you're gonna bring up one of the reasons why right now. So here you
go. Well, so yeah, obviously, great run, making it to top 16. There was a ton of people there. Like we said, it was like 7 or 9 rounds. I think it was more like 9 rounds. So like you gotta have a ton of people to be able to get that far. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I hate you for it. I wish I could just pick 60 random cards off my table that look good together and make them work. But
there's a lot of variance. There's a lot of variance that goes in a card game.
Of course. And it was also early days in the meta. But I mean, kudos to you. It shows just like your foundations are there. All right, now to the juicy stuff. Okay, Lorcana villain. Is he really a villain in person?
I don't have a tea on me. I have this bottle I can pretend to drink out of. Dude, Lorcana villain was awesome. I love Baker. The main reason I went was to meet Baker. I mean, being friends with someone for like almost 2 years now, talking all the time online, stuff like that. I think that Baker put out the best piece of Disney Lorcana content I have ever seen, and I was fortunate enough that he allowed me to be a part of it. And that was our hype video for the LCCC, where we reenacted WrestleMania's Rock vs. Stone Cold music video.
Yeah.
People still bring that up to me. I wish that we could put it on YouTube, but it has so much copyrighted material in it. No one can put it on YouTube. That's why it's not on there. But I was like, listen, I know I'm going to Bologna, but like the man flew all the way over here. He's going to be 6.5 hours from my house. There's no way I can't not go.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never been to one of these events, not because it's not a great event, not because like I think the organizers are fantastic. I was happy to hang out with some of them. I've seen them at other events, never been to one of these events before. And it's just because it's such a drive. And yeah, it's just too much for me to go to. But anyway, yeah, Lorcana Villain was fantastic. Also, that chair that I'm in, where he's sitting on my lap, I took that chair from production after my feature match. uh, and I used it all day because I was at table 1 through 3 like the entire day.
Mhm.
And I think that gave me a severe advantage. I was so
Comfortable,
relaxed.
yeah.
I was so chill in that chair, and my opponents were sitting in like the folding metal chairs that they're like all the
They
way down
hunched
here on the
over.
floor. Yeah, and I'm just like high and mighty above. It really, I felt so in the zone all day, and I think that chair helped. And I'm not even kidding. Also, JDZ was like, "Where'd you get that chair from?" I was like, I took it. I took it from you guys." He goes, "Bro, we were looking for this chair." Also, JDZ all day. Like I'm being humble here, right? All day, like round 1, I was the first game done out of over 200 players. Okay, so everyone thought I lost. Everyone knew I was playing Blurple, and they're like, "What happened? Like, did Amber Steel like, beat you on turn 5 both games?" I was like, "Oh, I 2-0'd my opponent. What do you want from me?" But like anytime JDZ was asking me how I was doing, I was like, well, why are you even asking, bro? I'm still in first place. I'm the best in the world. I don't know what to tell you. Just all day. Even Wonderland. At one point, Wonderland came out of the back room, and he saw me like with my legs up on the table. He's like, "When did you drop?" I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? I'm winning this tournament." Like, people can't even touch me unless I miss Rampo 2. I don't know what to tell you, bud. Have fun in the other room, you know? It was just like I was in a room with a bunch of my friends, and
Yeah.
we were all just joking around, and it was a great event.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the casting team was, pretty prominent people in the space. Lorcana Villain, obviously. You mentioned JDZ. I believe Liam from the Illumineers was there.
Nope, that's
No?
CCS.
That's
Uh
CCS? Okay,
yeah,
Kawa.
same
Color
weekend.
is Law.
Kawa. Yep, color.
Who else am I missing?
Kim,
Kim. Oh my god, Kim was there?
Garrick.
Garrick.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, let's get into some kimchi.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of like kimchi,
Mm-hmm,
except
mm-hmm.
different because she is from Europe. So Kim is casting Bologna, right?
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And I'm so happy for her. I've never interacted with her before. I've seen her on Twitter, okay, and I know she does great cosplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really interacted with her. And so I ended up getting conned into walking into the back room on Friday. I did not want to. I just put my head in and I said hi, and everyone called me in. Kawa was not there, like not right there at the time, and Podcana was live, and so was JDZ on Twitch, right, and YouTube, and Kim was playing games with Wonderland, and I poked my head in, kind of like a "Here's Johnny" thing. Villain starts dying laughing because he just turns around and I'm there, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I walked in and Kim was so nice. She was just like, "Oh my god, it's so nice to meet you," and gave me a fist bump. And I'm like, "I didn't think you knew who I was." She still might not have, and if not, good on her, right?
Just being
But
kind.
yeah, they all convinced me to sit behind the camera. If you go back and watch that video, I was not in Dick Burns mode yet.
Mm.
This is how you can. This is some behind the scenes stuff. You could tell that I have to get into character when I go to these events. I have to like hype myself up to be like what people want me to be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sitting there on camera like this, and I'm like, I've still like haven't really met Kawa yet, and like, you guys have convinced me to be live on his channel. I felt so uncomfortable Like, maybe he doesn't want me on his channel, you know what I mean? But yeah, I ended up meeting him as well a little bit later. And also, fantastic guy. Forget everything everyone's ever said about this guy. This guy is great. Okay. He is Dick Burns approved for sure. Yeah,
I've
I
never heard a
saw
bad thing
him.
about him, by the way.
Right. I did. You know what's funny is insinuating things that aren't true, because I didn't say anyone said anything bad about him. But the people at home would have been like, what bad things did people say about? No, but I talked to him a lot. Again, I'm not going to go into anything that we talked about. Anyone could talk to me about anything, and it's not going to get leaked all over the internet. But awesome guy. I am so happy that I went and got to meet him and Kim, and then got to meet Lorcana Villain in person. But I'm really, really pleased that I got to meet Kawa and Kim. Honestly, like, I went there to hang out with Villain, and I knew that they were there. And I didn't know if they knew who I was. I didn't know if they, I didn't know anything about them personally, only their internet personas.
Sure.
Which, like, I've met a lot of content creators. People are not the same from what they choose to show you online. Okay. Sure. So, yeah, I was very, very happy to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looked super fun. Not in my, like, sphere of the world, so I wasn't able to make it.
That would have been so far for you.
Yeah. But no, it seemed like a really great time. Is there anything else that you kind of want to say about Ink Inc. other than you got to meet your best friend Baker?
I don't think so. It was just, honestly, it was one of the best Disney Lorcana weekends I've ever had. There were also so many people from the community that I got to meet, and there were people that I talked to for like 30 minutes straight, because it sounds weird. Out of 9 rounds, I might have played for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. Aside from my stream match, that one took forever. Playing on stream always takes longer. You have to hit the buttons. You have to make sure everything is super clear, like, that you're being watched, and things take longer. But like, most of my matches were so fast, and I didn't play the last 2. So I got to meet people like from North Carolina that I had never met, that I literally just like sat and talked to forever. There were a lot of people there from the Baltimore area who I met at Star City Games, and we put a video about that out like over a year ago at this point. And I haven't seen them since.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. A lot of the people I ran into that I had seen, DLC season 1, it was like no time had passed.
Yeah.
And I was so thankful to so many of the people in the community who came up and talked to me. It felt like I was at DLC. Like, they had a meet and greet Friday, and I went as a fan to do the meeting and greeting, and I ended up signing so much stuff and taking photos, and I felt eternally blessed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, I think that the community is doing a lot of really cool things right now, and like, they really have been, and Lorcana has just been such a nice and unique experience, I really think, compared to other TCGs. And it's cool to see all these guys that have come from like other games like Magic and even like Yu-Gi-Oh, or even Pokemon, and just have people saying like, oh wow, like, this community is so different, and it's because of the people who play Lorcana and who make it differently. And part of that too is like the people who run these events. So I also want to talk about, and I know you want to talk about it as well, something that I was fortunate enough to be a part of, but that you really championed in a big way as well, along with the amazing people over at Team the Uninkables. But you held a charity event at your store in collaboration with the Uninkables. For we called it Questing with Amanda, I believe, and Amanda is an Illuminator who is battling cancer right now. And I mean, I'll let you speak more to the actual event itself, but I just want to say, like, it was really cool I was fortunate enough to cast. That was my role in all of this. That's all I did. But it was really cool to just like see the community show up in this way, and like even just like watching it from the stream perspective, we have the photos I'll put up here of like all the people at your store, and I know you said that everybody was watching, and you know, Corwin, one of the guys on Uninkables who helped coordinate this whole thing, was, you know, expressing just how excited everybody was to see casters like Color, who you've seen at PPG, you've seen at Ink Inc, you've seen at these, you know, big events, like talking over their matches, and people were running to the stream table. So I think it was just a really cool thing to be a part of, and it was a really big moment for me to just kind of step back and reflect and be like, you know, yeah, sure, this is a game. A lot of people like to joke that it's a princess card game, but it really is something special, you know, and we're doing something special here.
Yeah.
And we're meeting people and we're making connections that matter, and you know, people care about you, whether you realize it or not. You know, people at your locals, you know, I'm sure to Amanda, these are just people that she played Lorcana with, and then they show up for her in this big way and they help raise, you know, a bunch of money for her charity, which I believe the link is still live. We'll make sure it's up on the screen with the QR code and in the description to donate to that GoFundMe as well. But yeah, I want you to talk about that, because you know, you recently started up your store, you're struggling to get allocation and things like that, which we'll talk more about in the future. But just talk to us about like what that meant for you. What was that like?
Well, honestly, the only reason that I want to talk about this at all is because of the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Please, if you can spare $5, if you can spare a share, like you don't have to share this video, just share the actual
Share
GoFundMe.
the link. Yeah.
Right. Like you know, we're not going to put in the title of this video this nice thing that we were a part of, because this isn't for clickbait or anything.
Right.
This is why I opened the store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the event was unbelievable. Some of the wider photos of how many players were in the room, I did like right when the store opened. There was at least double this in the room. Like almost every seat was full. We bought more tables and chairs 2 days before the event because we were anticipating that this is an incredible community and they're going to come out to help someone in the community.
Yeah.
There were people that attended this event who got a hotel room because they lived so far away, but they just wanted to come be a part of this event. Raising the money, obviously extremely important. Like don't sell yourself short on casting, because I saw people that wrote in there like, yay, I donated. Like one guy donated $150.
Yeah.
You know, everything counts, obviously, but like that, I was so happy to see that. The donations were doubled during the day, like from what it was previously.
Yeah.
So that was so important. Not only that, I got to meet Amanda. I'd never met Amanda before. This is just someone that Corwin, shout out to Corwin.
Oh yeah, shout out to Corwin.
I just happen to own the store. Corwin did everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I ran it through Event Reporter, whatever. Ravensburger Play Hub. But without Corwin, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
All right. So we are not taking the shine. This was a complete community driven thing.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that I happen to be a part of the community. It's a little sad even that people had to come from so far away. Like I wish a different store did this every weekend.
Yeah.
For Amanda, honestly. But yeah, so money obviously very important, very helpful. I can't speak for Amanda, but from what I saw, it was such a good day for her.
Yeah.
Which, from knowing people going through tough times, so important.
Yeah.
Right? She got to be there and see how many people came out just to support her. Like there were a lot of people that live near me that came to this event who had never been to my store before.
Yeah.
There are some people who didn't know I owned a store because I don't really advertise it. It's really I opened the store to help the community.
Yeah.
The number one reason that me and James decided, all right, let's do this, was for the memorial tournament that we had for AJ's father.
Yeah.
And seeing the lack of I don't even have a good way to put it. The lack of like other stores not being trash that were within, you know, a half hour, 45 minutes from where I am. There are some good stores out here. I've talked about them. Gilded Dragon, right? Dream Days. Every other store is like so far away.
Yeah.
or I would not personally recommend going. I would not personally recommend to people that they go there.
And quick caveat again for people who can't place you because they're not sure. I know there's a lot of great people out in North Carolina. Timo Hanna, Zach Bivens. He's not.
I'm
Those
all the way
people,
out. Yeah, I'm
those
all the way
people
on the
are.
East Coast.
Those people are so far away. He's not being shady. What he's saying is that near him, because he's like hours away from these people, there's nowhere to play Lorcana. To clarify.
Yeah, I think I've said this. Some of my best friends in the world moved here from New Jersey. They didn't know they couldn't get internet in the town they bought a house in. Okay, that's how far removed we are from like the real world. I am in the woods of North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So we were able to have this 3v3 event, and I talked to Corwin like, I don't know, 3 weeks or a month before this event. We'd had this plan for a long time because unfortunately we had to plan it around my schedule as well. Like I can't hold an event while I'm in Italy, stuff like that. And this was so important to me. I was so happy to take this weekend off to run this event and to host this event. And we hit like the teams have been wanting to know like entry fee, pricing, stuff like that. And all I said was, listen, I do not feel comfortable making money or controlling money at all on something that's a charity event.
Right.
I was like, you guys are going to any team that wants to play, you're gonna not pay anything. You're also not gonna win anything. Every single team is going to get on stream. We're going to make sure that we mention on stream, like, you guys took the time out of your day to come here and, we show you guys off. You guys play to entertain people at home. Hopefully the stream is successfully, entertaining people and they hear about the cause and want to donate toward it. I said, if any team people want to donate to the GoFundMe, please do. I believe all of them did.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect event. I was thrilled. And then we also had a side event that was open to everyone. So we capped the teams because, we didn't want to be there all day just doing the team event. And for space reasons, like the teams were on the larger tables. The other side of the room, because of the size of the store, would not have been able to accommodate 3 people sitting next to each other.
Yeah, and it's still a new store.
We had to, yeah.
So yeah,
like the store's only function is a safe place for people to hang out whenever I'm around and they want to hang out.
Yeah,
that's the whole function of the store. The store is not functionally made to make a profit. It's not functionally made to host 50-person tournaments, stuff like that. So yeah. And then we had the side event for a lot of the +1s wanted to play in side event, or just anyone that doesn't have 2 friends that they consider teammates. Maybe someone is shy and doesn't, they just want to go play in a 1v1 event. So we had that event as well. I think it was like 15% of the money brought in from that went to the GoFundMe, which was awesome. The rest plus more went into the prize pool. Again, we were not trying to make a profit on any of these events. And it was awesome. Everyone had such a good time. And then after both events finished, I was like, do you guys want to do another event? And they're like, yes, let's do it. So we just did a cheap $10 event that was capped at 4 rounds. First and second place, we're supposed to get prizing. I ended up paying out to top 4 because second through fourth had the same record. And I felt like that was scummy to just be like, nope, technically you weren't second.
Right.
Again, like, we're not trying to like rake people over the coals here. I wanted and another thing about running the other events, we could keep the stream going.
Yeah.
Hopefully you weren't getting exhausted. We just kept throwing people on stream.
No, it was awesome.
Get on stream. We got AJ on there as much as possible. What's it called? We got, I don't want to get his name wrong. We got Mason on there as much as possible.
Oh yeah, Mason Team Smash repping.
Yeah, Mason 6, 7. Do you know this reference?
I do. It's a kid thing.
I didn't. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I did not know this reference at all. Within the first 5 minutes of meeting him, He said this to me 20 times. So the whole day I said it to him.
Oh,
Every time I walked past him,
me and
I
Color
was
were
like,
loving Mason. He was so funny. He was rolling all over that
yeah.
table, and Color was like, "You guys got to send me this rig because that table is not shaking, and that child is all over it."
Oh my God. You could see the setup in one of these photos, right?
Oh yes,
Like,
yeah.
that was insane. It looked like we
Yeah.
were prepping for a storm.
Yeah. Hey, but they gotta have good
Let's go.
lighting.
Hey, I don't know if this might be too long, but I have a great Mason story. I'm so sorry. It might be
Okay.
too long, but you might want to use it for the start of the video.
Okay, let me put you big.
All right. So I meet Mason, and he comes up to me, and he's looking through my 50-cent cards, and he pulls out a card that I signed, and he reads it, and he goes, Dick Burns? And so, I'm intrigued. I look over, and he's like, you have a card signed by Dick Burns. And I was like, really? Have you ever met him? He goes, no, but I heard he's amazing. And my parents have met him, and like, he's really famous. He's really good at Disney Lorcana. And I went, oh my God, that is insane. I wish I could meet him. And then I was like, can you get your parents to come over here? So I'm friends with his parents, and his parents came over, and I told him the story, and they are hysterically laughing. And then I look at him and I go, hey, my name is Dick Burns. It's nice to meet you. It was the only time all day he was silent. He turned beet red, and it was one of the most adorable and genuinely awesome things that I have ever experienced in my life, and I will be eternally grateful to him for it because I felt like a superstar. I have been telling everyone this story. I told my
so
kids
sweet.
this story. It was amazing.
That's awesome. And his parents are great. I know both of his parents as well.
Yes.
They're awesome.
Yes, I will be on Team Smash's show tomorrow on Stardust channel, actually.
Oh my
So
God.
people will know when we recorded this now because they can go find her on Twitch, and I'll be on there doing a little Smasher pass.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth about Mason. I was like, he's so cute.
Also, Mason is a genius. He is a certified genius. He's 11. He got every single person in that store to sign a card because he goes, if any of you become really famous, I'm selling this on eBay. Genius. Also, we're going to talk about this in another video. I guess now these pre-release promos and buy box promos. Where are the boxes in the pre-release? I gave them all out at the event. So I was thrilled that I could actually do something with them instead of the stores that are selling them for 25 cents each on TCG Player.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Lore Chronicles video without us throwing shade. Give out your promos that are given to you for free, store owners, please.
Yes. So I want to say a couple of things. I know we're running a little long. Shout out to Watch to the End crew. We appreciate you guys. I know there's a couple of you out there that always comment it. It means a lot. I think one thing I want to highlight from this moment is like, and I've seen this before with other stores. Like, let's talk about like SSG, or there was a local store that popped up that was new. It's still around. Goat Card Shop that was like doing like, case events for only like $15 entry, and like, like you saying like, hey, we're not really charging for this. We're not making any money off this weekend. We're just trying to do a good thing. And I know like when people see those things, they get suspicious, I guess, for lack of a better word, and they're like, I don't get it. What's the deal? Why can SSG just give away all this free money? Why can I go to this case event, and only pay $15 even though it's a loss to the store? Why would Dick do all this just for to not make any money? There, he must be making some money secretly. It doesn't want to tell us to look better. And I just want people to know, and this isn't about you. This is really just like an overarching statement about Lorcana and the goodness in people's hearts, really, is that there are just good people in the world that just have hobbies that they love, and whether it's financial or otherwise, they have the means to do what they do, and so they do. It's a passion, right? Like, it's sure, you can be like, well, I heard this guy's rich, or I heard this, or I heard that. It's not about any of that. It's just like, in your case, you have the means, you have this store, you and James were able to do it, so you do, because you love the community and you didn't like getting slighted at other stores, or you didn't like hearing about other people.
Mostly James, by the way. James doesn't want the credit,
but
mostly James. If you look at these black walls, he cut all of them.
I was gonna say James like built that store.
Yeah, we did not. Slat wall, the shipping was more than the wall.
Wow.
And he goes, man, I'll just cut myself some of these. Oh, do your James impression. He loves it. He said yours is the best ever.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm James. I'm just gonna make this wall all nice and pretty. Ain't no problem.
Yes, perfect.
But
Yeah, so
but no,
I am
seriously.
I am yeah, I'm sacrificing time and James is sacrificing money. That's how we're getting this done.
But really, it is just to say, like, again, it's not just me sitting here glazing dick. It's me glazing like the kind people in this community that just love Lorcana, and love what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just like what I wanted to kind of leave this on, is like, we're so fortunate in so many ways, you know, that we have this Lorcana community, that Ravensburger listens to us and does their best. I get it. We've had a downturn for a little bit there, but we're in season 2, baby. The past is the past. Season 1, who cares, okay? Because we're on the up and up now. You know, we've got CCQ invites on third-party events. You know, we've got amazing events like Ink, SSG, you know, charity events popping up in places, and all these different things. And I just want to say, like, that's awesome. And it's an honor to be a part of this community, and we shape the community. So you are what the community becomes because you're part of it. So that's all I really want to say about this. But yeah, I think it was really great to hear about all of this. And if anybody ever wants to get involved, people are more accessible than you think. A lot of the Lorcana content creators are very down to earth. You know, like I, for one, when Corin reached out to me, I didn't know it was a charity event. I was just excited to be offered to cast, you know, and then it's like, oh, there's charity on top, even better. You know what I mean?
Also, shout out to Color.
Oh my God, Color's amazing. Color's,
Yeah,
she's
she
great.
also casted.
Yeah, and she's
So,
a natural talent.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like working with her.
Philip, Jacob as well, some guys that aren't so like content creatory, but were casting alongside us, giving us breaks and things like that. Just everybody involved has been amazing. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, everything's on the up and up. Ravensburger Play Hub. There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Don't watch our last video or the 2 videos go. Anyways.
Yeah, I take back my apology for Rex, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I take back every nice thing I ever said about him. RPH Rex, forget that guy.
Oh, boom, name dropping everything. All right, I gotta leave it on a juicy take, and that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and it was a little bit of a long one, but we really just had a great time kind of reminiscing, talking about a couple different things, talking about this community and what it means to us. Please don't forget, you can check out the QR code on screen or go into the description to help us raise money for Amanda in her fight against cancer. Fellow Illumineer, just like the rest of us, this could happen to any of us. And you know, if you have even $5, $1, you know, in your bank account, why not throw it her way? So thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate everything that you guys do for us and with us, and your comments and everything. And yeah, your support means the world. So thank you guys for allowing us to be such a cool part of this community along with you. And I don't know, yeah, just talking at the heartstrings a little bit. So love you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.